All right, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, all the speakers for today. They're like, let me check for once more.
Good morning to evaluators also.
Yeah, it's okay, it's fine. You are relaxed until it's your turn. Today we're having meeting number 92. Wow, Kaika? 92? It's 902. 902nd meeting, it's not 92 meeting. And today is a really special day. Anybody want to guess? So happy Mother's Day to all of the mother present in the four walls. And let's give a big hand for them. Today itself, when I checked, like I don't remember, okay, that today was a Mother's Day. And the pop showed, okay, today's a Mother's Day. And for a moment I felt like, should I have remembered it? And it was a tiny bit of guilt, I don't know why. But when I checked that pop-up, I instantly remember the last speech of Suchi. I'm not sure if you guys remember the last speech from her, and she had a marvelous, amazing speech. She talked about all the chores that she does, all the roles she performed being in a single body. I was like, damn, that's the tough job. And again, when you look at the word mother, you just go back and just see from a different eye. And this is actually amazing. As you grow up, you start to feel it, that how your parents have been feeling so far. And earlier when you were just a kid or in school, you would be thinking why mom is saying this and that and doing so and so forth. But when you start working and literally like you are in all the whole scenarios where you have to work and go here and there to manage your time, probably going for a wedding or coming to Toastmaster and then taking the lunch and blah 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 things and so many, and then you reflect back. Your mom have been doing this for so long and so gracefully and carrying your family. So once again, let's cherish that and give a big hand for our mothers. And thank you to all of the guests present here. This is a Sunday morning and you decided to show up. So again, congratulations to all of you. You could have again procrastinated it. You could have again looked at your phone and thought that, hey, I'll go next week, probably next month, or maybe once I come back from somewhere if you're planning to go out of the city, but you chose to be here. So good luck to all you guys, and we're gonna have an amazing day today. We have 4 of the speakers, and this is a regular meeting for the Toastmaster. And of course, you are coming to an international community, so it has that you stick by. And the mission of our Toastmaster International is to provide positive and supportive learning experience to the members in which they learn communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. It has 4 core values that we go by. First is service, excellence, integrity, and respect. Before starting the meeting, let me set some of the ground rules so that it does not disturb ongoing meeting. First, check your phone if it is in silent mode, or probably you can switch it off if you want to. Take 5 or 10 seconds. Second rule is when a speaker is speaking here on the stage, please do not cross-talk. It disturbs, unless you are explicitly asked to do so, it disturbs the ongoing meeting. Third is please do not leave out of the room during the during the speech. When a person is speaking here, it breaks the continuity, so hold for a second. And please exit the room while applauding time. By default, we are recording this meeting. If you don't want to be part of this video recording, you can always let us know. We'll edit out of the video. And Any more ground rules? No? Yeah, good. We're good to go. So, wish you all the best and have a great session, learning and unlearning experience here at Toastmasters International. Over to the presiding officer, Tian Namida.
Welcome everyone. A very good morning and a very happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Good that we are having a Toastmasters meeting on this special day. And I do believe that irrespective of the first Sunday of the month of May, every day is Mother's Day because you are doing what you are supposed to do, and please do take some time off every day, not just on Mother's Day, from all the motherly responsibilities. Alright, with that let me talk about Toastmasters a little for all of you who are attending this meeting for the very, very first time. More than 100 years ago, a very beautiful soul had this idea of creating a platform for encouraging and learning public speaking in a friendly environment, and that person was Ralph C. Smedley, and hence the idea of Toastmasters was born. And since then, a lot of clubs all around the world are running successfully under the umbrella of Toastmasters International. And GTMC is one of those clubs. GTMC is a legacy club. It has completed more than 17 years. We just completed our milestone meeting, which was the 900th meeting. Today we are having our 902nd meeting, which is a great achievement. So that's how long the club has been running successfully, and we all are proud, very, very proud to be part of this club. Having said that, the format of every Toastmasters meeting is a standard format. We start with the prepared speaker. So today we have 4 prepared speeches. Then we have a table topic section, which is an impromptu speaking section where you're given a topic to speak upon for 1 or 2 minutes. All guests are encouraged to come up and speak in that section. And then we have the evaluation section, which is the most important section, why we are all here to learn and grow. So every speaker is provided their respective feedback in that section. With that, I would now move on to the guest introductions. Please, if you're attending for the first time, as a guest, introduce yourself with your name, what do you do, and what brings you here to Toastmasters. Hello. We have a lot of guests.
I can go first. Yeah, I'm Siddharth. I'm working in the corporate. I have 9+ years of experience and consulting in the consulting sector. And the reason for me being in GTMC and today's meeting is that I was a part of GTMC before and wanted to continue. I lost focus and wanted to refocus now. So back then, yeah.
Welcome back. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nitin. Actually, not our first day, it's my 5th meeting.
That's
I wanted to
fine.
join it. I'm working in carrier emissions R&D as an engineering manager. And I want to work on my soft skills like communication as well.
Welcome.
Hi, good morning. My name is Kishore Singh. And one session I did in month of
January, and then you're back in summers then.
Yeah, so in between, so in JNL, as I'm in JNL, so they have this Toastmaster club, so I attended the teaching weekly meeting here. I want to join here as well. Looking forward to it.
Welcome.
So, hello everybody, this is Hitesh, and basically I'm from Mumbai, and it's been a year I've kind of relocated to Durga, and I'm working as a consultant at Life Science, one of the Life Science consulting firm, Pattam Associates, and I got to know about Toastmasters from one of my friends, so just wanted to explore and enhance my public skills. Thank you.
Welcome. Are you accustomed to Gurgaon weather now?
Kind of.
Okay, my name is Krishan. I'm from Chandigarh. Last week only I moved to Gurgaon, and and currently I'm working with Amazon. My current challenge is I'm doing my work, but I'm not able to communicate with the people who are in different locations, specifically in global, the different countries. In meeting, I most of the time feel stuck. So that is the reason I was exploring someone who can teach me where I can learn my communication and confidence level. And I came to know about Toastmaster, and today I joined this for the first time.
Wonderful.
So hi, I'm Purvi and I moved to Gurgaon around a year back, and I am working at a fintech company called Ostra, where I'm part of the technical project management team. So this is my first meeting at Toastmasters, and I plan to join because whether it's client meetings or like day-to-day generic team meetings, or even like talking to someone, I feel like I have a number of ideas, but like to express myself even better and like build personal confidence. So I felt like Toastmasters. Yeah.
Alright. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, so I've been earlier also in the last week, so it is like my second meeting at the moment. So I work as the operation manager in the Gurugram office, and I'm looking here for like the long-term type of meeting and improvement skills to address the wider audience, which is like to improve myself.
Welcome everyone. For the first time I'm seeing there are no CAs and guests, or are there? Any chartered accountants and guests? Alright. Nice.
Not advertising strongly.
Yeah. Alright. So with that, we'll start the meeting, and let me welcome the Toastmaster of the day, who has a wonderful theme for today about our mind. So let's see what he has to indulge us in. So let's welcome Toastmaster Prashant.
So hi guys, this will be my very first time being a Toastmaster for the day. So please bear with me. I have gotten a really interesting idea for all you. But before we jump onto that, I think I have to introduce the GE for the day first. Right. So the GE is a Toastmaster and our presiding officer, Namrita itself. So yeah, please, a round of applause.
Thank you. Wow, after a long time I'm coming. Alright. So I am the general evaluator also for today. The role of the general evaluator, as the name suggests, is to be the evaluator of the entire meeting from start to end, everything, and nothing should miss my eye. And that is where the third section of the day is the evaluation section, where my role actually comes into execution, and before that entirely we are sitting and taking note of what is going right and what is not going so well. So basically I am the headmistress of the entire meeting today. And to support me in that role is a set of evaluators. We have specific evaluators for the speeches, and I will be evaluating them too. And apart from that, I have the tag team with me, and let me call them one by one so that they can also explain their role. So I'll start with the grammarian for the day, which is Toastmaster Priya.
Good morning, everyone. And this is the very first time I'm taking the role of grammarian, so please bear with me. Okay, my name is Priya, and as a grammarian of the day, I will be observing the language uses, how we choose the words, the clarity, and the overall expressions. And also, my role is to appreciate nice communications and also gently identify the areas of improvements. So again, the word of the day is resilient.
Here are
this.
the markers.
Okay, sorry. Right on this side so that the back comes. Right on this side. This side. Yes. I'm sure many of you already know this word. Resilient means quickly recover from a difficult situation. Let me give you one example. Like a resilient person can move from a difficult situation very quickly. And also with that, I invite everyone to use this word efficiently and naturally in your speech. Thank you. Do we have idiom of the day? One phrase. Can you look up after? All right, I'll do that. I'll check out. Thank you. Thank you. Next, let me invite the timer for the day. That is Toastmaster. Yes, thank you. So, whenever someone uses the word of the day or the idiom of the day, which will be displayed here, please encourage that person by showing a thumbs up sign. All right, let me invite now the timer for the day, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Hello everyone, good morning. Today I'll be serving as a timer and I'll be late, so I'm sorry for that. I did not know I was a timer, I thought I was counted, but I don't know, some miscommunication happened there. And I set a very wrong example of being a timer
No,
today.
that is the reason why we gave you the
Oh
timer.
my god, to teach me a lesson. Amazing. So, my role today is to keep track of time of each and every speaker and evaluator and table topic speakers as well. I will signal the speakers with these 3 cards. So when they are so green, wait, sorry. Yeah, so the time for prepared speeches is 5 to 7 minutes, and I'll show green card when it is 5 minutes. I'll show the yellow card when it is 6 minutes, and the red one when it is 7 minutes. For table topics, 1 minute is the green card, 1.5 is the yellow card, and for 2 minutes I'll show the red card when you have to stop talking and you have to come back. And for evaluation, the timing is for 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes for the green card, 2.5 for the yellow card, and 3 minutes for the red card. So hope to see you soon. You're talking, but I will track your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster. Just to add on that, for icebreaker speech, the timing is 4 to 6 minutes. So accordingly, we follow the show of hands. All right. With that, the next role player is the R counter, Toastmaster Monica.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Monica, and today is my very first time being an R counter. So the purpose of R counter is to note the filler words and sounds. Filler words like well, it's but, sometimes, and filler sounds like you repetitive uses of I, me, this means. So I will be making a note of each speaker during the meeting, and by the end of the meeting I will be presenting a small report.
And then a very interesting role player who gets our minds and gets us into a competitive spirit is the active listener, Toastmaster Akash.
Good morning, everyone. Today I am playing the role of active listener. So basically, my job is to note down every small nuance that is happening in the meeting, and at the end of the session, I'll be asking questions, and let's see who wins that.
Hold your talent shots.
Maybe next time.
You can get treat now.
You can sponsor our lunch. That's all of it.
Sure. I'll be there on time.
All right. With that, let's not hold off and let's begin the meeting. So back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rashad.
Toastmaster Namita. Okay guys, let me log in. Okay, I'll start with the video and just observe what's happening there. Okay.
सौ पास से रहेगा
Okay. How many of you understand what just happened here? Just by show of hands.
little bit
Okay. So we have a lot of folks who will be learning a lot of new stuff today. So basically, what this is these are two neurons in your brain that are connecting with each other for the very first time. And don't get startled or that this will be a really scientifically heavy presentation and learning. No, I will make sure that in layman's terms, by the end of the day, you would understand how to bend your mind. By that, what I mean is that you can physically, like we hear a lot about, you should think this way and, by thought process, you'll change yourself. Today, I'm going to show you that you can physically change your brain. How you can do it will give you proof of it is really possible to do, what is the reason behind those changes, and at the end of the day, as I said, my target is that you should have the tools to physically rewire, re-engineer and recreate your brain. And before I do that, let's move on to the first speaker for the day, and yeah, that would be Toastmaster Pradyun, but before it would be Linky, okay. So that would be Toastmaster Linky. But before we do that, I'll call on her evaluator, that is Toastmaster R.K. Arora.
So today is the day when everybody is coming on the stage first time. And I'm also going to introduce speaker. As a speaker, she is going to come here as first time. And it's really very difficult to take first steps. It may have happened in your life, every aspect of your life, right? So today Linky is taking that challenge and she will be releasing her first speech. I can say it's her icebreaker speech. And whenever a speaker comes on the stage, it's already a non-judgmental zone. But for the first day when she comes or he comes, so we applaud them by giving them the standing ovation. So this is the rule of the GTMC. So best of luck, Toastmaster Linky, and stage is yours, Toastmaster.
Before we welcome Toastmaster Linky onto the stage, just by an introduction, by day she herds engineers in a telecom team, making sure knowledge actually travels at the speed of light. By night or weekends, she is the person who plans activities that turn serious adults into non-serious human beings and keeping their sanity in check though, of course, that is important. And finally she came to Toastmasters because she realized that she was already talking a lot, so might as well do it here as well. So yeah, do it well. So let's welcome Toastmaster Linky. Her title of speech is No Fixed Addresses, No Fixed Limits. No fixed addresses, no fixed limits. Toastmaster Linky.
Okay, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I'd like to know first of all, how many of you grew up studying in 3 different schools? Okay, that's great. Keep your hands raised if you did those schools are across 3 different continents.
Continents.
Okay, so as usual, it's just me.
I would say that for me, home has been my suitcase, and I'm not really rented somewhere. This has been my life. I studied in 4 different schools. I studied across 4 different continents and found my way through. I spoke my way out of problems through 3 different languages, and also I scored 0 and then 100 in the same subject. And of course, I outsmarted the police and my parents at the age of 4. And I was not a child criminal, of course, but that's a bit of reflection that I have of my life, so I share with you. When we go back to, okay, as early as I remember, I was in Belgium. I was just 4-year-old, and as children learn languages very quickly, like water finds its level, I could speak French as a native speaker. But I was hopping across the road on both the sides, from one side to the other, thinking that it was an empty street. Suddenly a car comes and stops. There was an old lady there. She gets a jerk. She calls the police. And of course my parents got a firing in French. They didn't understand a word. I understood everything. But I did not tell them because it's best to keep some information strategized. Otherwise I would have got fired. So that was Belgium for me. Then we moved to Africa. There were no good schools. I remember going to French home tuition, French school it was, and thanks to my parents, they taught me Hindi, English, and maths at home every evening at the dining table. They had nothing better to do, so they also. My second sibling landed. My sister was born in a church there. I was so nervous as a child that what is she going to look like being born in Africa? Thankfully, she looked like one of us. Then my first school happened. That was in Dubai. My real school. It was before. The teacher walks in on day 1. She says, "Write an essay on summer vacation." Essay? I didn't know what was an essay. I never been to school. I got a big 0. Arabic was mandatory there. I got another big 0. So what did I do? I worked very hard. I worked really hard and I scored 100 in Arabic in that same year. And I ranked first out of 30 students. So that was the time I topped my class. It didn't stop there. Then came Moscow. We were told, I was in class 10, and we were told that a school is going to start, a CBSE Indian school. So we moved there. I was supposed to be in class 10. The school opened, but it started from 11th and 12th. So obviously I was stuck. What do I do? 10th, I had to do correspondence. Imagine me by myself, no teacher, no classmates, just books and the Russian winter. And when I say Russian winter, it does not mean just cold, right? It means there were months where daylight used to be only for 2 hours. The sun used to come out literally apologetically and come and go. So I remember going to school in the night. And same was with summers. When it was summer, night used to happen only for 2 hours. So literally it was just discipline that helped us survive that phase. I did 10th, I cleared it. I joined 11th, and then what happens in 12th? We come to know the syllabus is changed. We get the books just 2 months before the board exams. I worked very hard again. I scored well enough to join Jabalpur Medical College. 1 year into MBBS in Jabalpur, then I went on summer vacations to meet my parents in Mexico. I realized that's not my calling, medicine. I just love the world, the people, the culture, the languages. I'm always intrigued, and for me, change, movement, adapting, resilience comes naturally. I quit medicine, and I stayed there for some time. Then came back to India, joined JNU, and trust me, the professors in the middle of the class used to look at me. Are they teaching right? Is their accent right? Because I knew Spanish. I had the accent, and I knew Spanish better than anybody in the college. I topped again. That was my graduation. Then we decided we
we moved to Paris for my masters. I thought I'll do my masters in Spanish over there. But again, what happens? They tell me I have to learn French. The French that I knew as a native speaker when I was a child was totally gone, washed out, as if it never existed. So I had to relearn French. And in the initial days, when we just landed in Paris, I hadn't learned French. I got lost. I thought, let me get used to the metro around. And I realized I'm in the countryside with cows and village, and there is no Paris. What helped me? They don't speak English. Spanish helped me to get back home. The ticket collector came. I had no valid ticket. They found me, and they got me back. I found my way. Oh, okay. And after that, Paris. It was coming to the corporate world. I joined the corporate world. GE, Coca-Cola, airlines, Mexican Embassy, and today I'm in a telecom firm, guiding engineers, bridging the gap, making technology speak English. That's who I am. And you must be wondering, a lot of people ask me, why is my name Linky? My dad said that when I was a child, I used to grab the finger of everybody who came. I needed to connect. So my dad said that, let's call her Linky. She needs a connection with everything she touches. And you must be wondering, I got lost. All of that happened, all my story in different countries. Why? Well, this happens only to a child of a diplomat. My father was a diplomat, and that's my story, and I think I was his final. Thank you.
Just to stand there, no, I just absorb the aggravation.
I know. I'll try ke aur mein bhi mile.
Great guys. So amazing speech, Linky. Like you were looking like a pro, so didn't look like it was your first speech, but well done. Okay guys, coming back to our brains, the thing we love the most. Okay. Yeah. So when we are born or throughout our life, there are a lot of situations we feel like that person probably is better than me. Maybe they are born this way. Maybe they had this skill. They had this in their DNA, genes. How can I compete with that? Or I'm not built like that. I'm fixed. I was born like this. And that was the thought process for the academia, for the scientists till the 20th century. Okay, they also believe like somebody being, physically disabled or somebody having depression in their early 20s, they will continue to live like that because there's not much you can do. The brain is fixed. But guess what? It is not fixed. It's a myth. With the advent of neuroscience in the 21st century, we know that brain can evolve. You can move parts in your brains from one place to another. We just saw in the very beginning, we can create new connections in brain, and that is a physical manifestation. It's not happening in your thoughts. That is physically happening in your body. So the concept is called neuroplasticity. It's a one word, and it's not a buzzword. It's a scientific term. Neuroplasticity. It's made of two parts. Neuron directly connecting to our nervous system. So I'm standing here, okay? I did this. What really happened? This thing. Somehow, somewhere in my brain, even though I did not think about it of raising my hand, it was just involuntary, right? I just wanted to do it. So neurons connected in my brain, a certain area fired up, electricity passed through my hand, and it just went up and down, right? So you have just like those neurons. And the ones we saw in the beginning, 86 billion neurons in your brain. Okay, so that is the neuro part. The second part is plasticity. So in childhood, we have learned like there are different kinds of plastic, right? There are plastics that are brittle. Like you have a plastic object, if you try and change its shape, it will break. Okay, it's so brittle. There are plastics which under temperature, they will change shape, but again they will go fixed, right? You cannot change that. But there is a third kind, elastic plastics, right? That you are able to change their shape and they'll continue to hold that new shape. So our brain is like that only. You can change its shape and it will continue to hold that shape. Okay, sounds interesting, like, right? So before I tell you, like, and you don't need to believe me, okay? You must be thinking, nah, he must be joking, or yeah, it's just for a presentation. But I'm going to show you the proof. But before we move on to the proof, let's move on to the next speaker. And the next speaker is Toastmaster Pradyumn, right? But before I do that, so before I do that, I'll call on his evaluator, Toastmaster Suchi.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the evaluator for Pradyumn today. So today is his ice-breaking speech, which will be around 4 to 6 minutes. After he ends his ice-breaking speech, all of us will be giving him a standing ovation. Thank you.
So before I call on Toastmaster Pradyumn for his icebreaker speech, just an intro about Pradyumn. He is 22 years old, currently working as a consultant at PwC, and in his free time, he loves to watch web series and spend time at the gym. So yeah, Toastmaster Pradyumn, please come on. And the title of his speech is The Promise. The Promise, Toastmaster Pradyumn.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So, as a child, if someone would ask me what do I want to become, like most of the Indian boys that are there, I used to say I want to become a cricketer. Well, at least that was my first answer. But my second answer was something that I didn't truly understand at the time. I used to say that I want to become a businessman. And honestly, at that time, I didn't even know words like startups, entrepreneurship, revenue, and all of those things. But I had heard stories from my mother, stories of struggle, stories of hardships, stories about my grandfather, my Nanu. At the age of 40, my Nanu started his first business. It was a bread factory. And at the time, it became a tremendous, it reached a very good level, which my mother told me. It was so big that it was in the direct competitors to all the big factories and the brands. And at that time, he bought a Toyota Corolla as well, which the family was so proud of that at that time nobody was able to even buy a car as well. But things doesn't remain same all the time. So one sudden day, everything changed. The factory had fire and everything was burned. And that was the moment where the family went into the turmoil and the hardships began. My grandfather, Nanu, suffered a heart attack and they would have to survive. They really didn't have to survive for basic needs as well. They didn't have, maybe sometimes they would have to eat 2 times in a day or something like that. But my Nanu didn't quit. He started again, he built again. So watching him see that doing business at the time then was about money, wasn't about success. It was about resilience. Now, fast forward in a few years, I got into college and I had no idea about the world. I don't know what is happening, I don't know what's going on around me. But fortunately enough, my father was from a tech background, so I secured an internship at KPMG. I got into SAP consulting. Then during my internship, I found the invisible softwares that run the business. Vendor portals, ITSM tools, all of those things. That's SaaS-based tools that run. And to my surprise, tools like ITSM tools and vendor portals, only a few competitors were there in the market. So I started discussing with the idea with my father. Like, why can't we do that? Why can't we get into that business? Those ideas became late night conversations with my father. Eventually, me with the help of my father, I came from a non-technical background. So I don't really know how to build a software, how to do coding, like basic level. But my father helped me connect with some industry leaders and some technical people. I had the idea, I knew what purpose I wanted to solve with that tool, with that software. with the idea that I had in my mind. So with the help of very good, some very talented technical people, we built a SaaS-based business 2 years back. But I realized soon enough that I was missing something. That was real corporate exposure. So that's why I led myself into PwC and my journey began there. At PwC, I had learned very much. Like I have talked with clients, I have stakeholder management, the real pressure that comes with the job. That is what I learned, and that is what I'm trying to implement in my business as well. In fact, the very first clients that I interacted at PwC eventually became our client in the business as well. That moment was surreal. And going through that journey, I think that I don't know if this business will truly work or not. I don't know if I will succeed or not. Maybe I'll fail. I don't know. But I will try. I will try again and again and again. Because as a child, I heard the stories about a man who didn't quit, who didn't give up. And that is the same that I will try to do. And I will not quit. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pradyum. What an amazing story of resilience and perseverance. It inspires us all. Toastmaster, do we have the thing of the day? If we can write it here, Yeah, I'll just wait for a second.
It's on popular demand, na?
Yeah. Oh, Satyam, you missed half of the knowledge session.
This is rise from ashes. Do I need to explain
Yeah.
this? So this is similar to resilient. Again, the story that Pradyum has told. This is exactly the phrase means and looks like. You have nothing, you become zero, and then you become 0 to 100. That's the phrase. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Satyam, just as a recap, today we are talking about how to rewire our brain physically. Okay. And in doing that, now what I want you guys to do is close your eyes, each one of you. I want you to close your eyes.
Should I keep our phone in the pocket?
No, just close your eyes. I won't take a break. Okay. Try and see what is in front of you with your eyes closed. Nothing, right? Now imagine this since the day you were born. This emptiness. Nothingness. No colors, no vividity, no experience of life. Now you can open your eyes. That is the life of a blind person who is born since childhood. Yes, please. They can't see anything, right? Their brain, yeah, please give me a second. Okay. And how we can see things, so like your eyes were closed, you couldn't see anything, but when you opened your eyes, what really happened? Light fell onto you, okay? From my perspective, it fell onto you, and then the photons came back to my eyes. In the eyes, they were changed into those electrical signals again, which the neurons transfer between each other. Okay? So for the blind people, actually the eyesight is the problem. So what scientists have done is, they have created a brain port device. What this device does is, it has two components. One is the glasses with the camera on top, and the other one is a vibrating device that goes onto your tongue, like you wear it like this. So what this literally does is, the camera will see what is in front of you, and then the device that is there, it will vibrate on your tongue. And what this would do is, this will stimulate that same part of the brain that is stimulated when you and I see things. So the brain is there, that portion is there, just didn't know how to work, right? So using this device, even blind people, of course, like it's in black and white, it's in like a very blurry motion, and they can just feel a sensation of it, but it's not complete pitch black, which we just saw when our eyes were closed. So this shows that there is an ability to change our brain, right? What better example would be more than this? The other two quick examples would be, so learning taxi drivers. So these guys, just to get a license, they have to remember more than 25,000 plus streets, how to navigate them to get a license. So what researchers did was, they took their brains, like they took them and they MRI'd their brains, and what they found was, so there is a specific area in our brains called hippocampus, which is responsible for navigation. So you must have seen a lot of people are very good in navigating whenever they are going to new places. They do it with trees. While there is some challenge for other folks, right? So it is also a specific area of brain that is responsible for that. So what they noticed is, for these folks who are driving, who are memorizing, who are doing it every day, that certain portion of their brain was larger when compared to normal people like you and me. What does that again mean? That you can physically change your brain. Again, another example, musicians. So I gave you an example of doing hand and up and down, right? And I told you what happened there. For a musician, that is the same thing, but they have to make that motion even faster, right? Even more controlled. So their brain regions are even more evolved than all of us. So this, eventually, I hope you agree with me that we can change our brains, we can rewire our brains, we can recreate our brains. Now, why does this happen? I will tell you, but before that, we move on to our next speaker, that is Toastmaster Harish. But before I call Toastmaster Harish, I'll call on their evaluator, that is Toastmaster Sachin.
Everyone, I will be evaluating my target speaker, Harish, and this is his first level 1 project 1. He has specifically asked me to focus on these areas while evaluating, and those are clarity, voice modulation, stage presence, and his overall speech delivery. I'll be sharing my evaluation in the evaluation section. Thank you.
So before I call on Toastmaster Harish, a quick intro. Our next speaker is someone who comes with a mix of entrepreneurship, operations, and great energy. From startups to corporate leadership, he is someone who believes in constantly learning and growing. So please welcome Harish Balian for his speech. The title of his speech is 3 Female Bosses Who Fixed Me Mostly. 3 female bosses who fixed me mostly. Toastmaster Harish.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I've had 3 corporate jobs until now in my life. And by some cosmic alignment, all 3 of my bosses have been females. Now don't get mistaken, this is not a standard corporate appreciation speech. This is a survival story. Survival story of a guy who entered the corporate world consistently late, aggressively overconfident, and deeply convinced in his life motto, "It's okay bro, I'll manage." Of all these 3 female leaders that I talked about, all 3 of them had different leadership styles, different management styles, and different ways to question my entire existence. But they had one thing in common, a zero tolerance policy for nonsense. And unfortunately for them, I was the nonsense. So let's start with boss number 1. She was a calm lady, not spa soothing calm. She was the calm that makes you nervous. That gets you scared. So at this job, my official reporting time was 9 a.m. And me being the consistently late guy, I reached office at 9:45 a.m. And you know the drill. I ran to my seat, opened the laptop screen and started typing something furiously so that everyone thinks he's been here since forever. I thought I pulled it. After a few minutes, I saw a shadow over my shoulder. It was her. In a very polite, angelic tone, she said, Harish, could you step into my cabin for a moment? I sat across from her, all ready with my defensive speech. I was all about to blame the Delhi traffic, the metro, and how it starts to rain in my area all of a sudden. And she was like, Harish, what is your reporting time? I said, it's 9 a.m., but what I'll do is I'll work through lunch, I'll work till late, and I'll finish everything that has been assigned to me. And before I could complete, she raised her hand and said, calm down. Now this today won't cost you your job, but habits like this quietly decide how far you'll go in life. And as I was walking back from her cabin, I realized that something needs to change. I need to make sure that I reach office on time. And ever since then, I've been trying to reach office on time unless there's a serious emergency. Then came boss number 2. She was exact opposite of boss number 1. No sugarcoating, no sweetness. If boss number 1 was a sniper, boss number 2 was a flamethrower. You make a mistake, she will broadcast it in high definition in front of the entire office. So one time I was given the responsibility to compile a major financial report, and me being the know-it-all, overly confident guy, hit send. And after a few minutes, I heard a voice yelled across the floor, Harish, what have you done? And as I stepped into her cabin, she asked me, Harish, did you even read it before sending it? I said, yes, I did read it. I read it twice. I made sure everything is correct. She said, if you didn't read it, I would simply call you lazy. But if you did read it, we have a bigger problem. This is the kind of mistake I would expect from an intern on their very first day. And as I walked out, my ego was shattered. My pride deflated. And while walking back in embarrassment, I realized, now my intent or my willingness to work, give good work, is no longer the barometer. I am being judged on standards. And if I do not give good quality work, if I do not meet the standards, then I'll not be promoted and pushed further in life. So from then on, I made sure that, I take care of everything. I make sure that, I check my work twice. Then came boss number 3. And by this time, I was a perfect corporate employee. Made sure that I reach on time, compiled the reports properly, looked at everything twice, thrice, because I was traumatized into perfection. And I thought by doing this, I will become the perfect corporate citizen. In meetings, I would sit quietly, not like a bobblehead, say yes to everything, made notes, everything was fine. Then boss number 3 called me one day and she said, Harish, what did you think of the meeting you were a part of? I said, yes, I liked the meeting. I agreed with most of what was being said. She said, I know what was said. I know what other people said. But I wanted to hear what you have to say. Because by being a safe employee, by nodding your head on everything would not give you a seat on the table. You were physically present there, but you were not a part of the conversation. So from then on, I made sure that I no longer am the safe employee, but I would rather be in a room or be in a place to make a difference. Now all these 3 female leaders, they taught me that by being safe, by being late, and by not checking your work multiple times will not take you further in life. So the lesson that we can learn from this, fellow Toastmasters, is that when someone gives us a feedback, especially the one that burns, that stings us, is the one that is going to push us further. So take it from a guy who has learned it. Please, let's not resent the feedback that is being given to us. The stinging feedback people only give us when they feel that the person who we are giving the feedback to has a potential to do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harish. As a mother of coincidences, I've also been ever managed by female bosses. And the most major difference which I've personally noticed is seeing the male bosses. For me personally, the female bosses have been more nurturing. They have given me an understanding of emotional aspect of an employee. Just an example, they will always harp on taking your leaves on time, taking the full quota, not working late at night. So these are emotions I've seen in like at least Indianized male bosses, like that doesn't exist there. Like if there is work for them, nothing else matters, not the employee, nothing else. They are so focused on work. But yeah, from my female leaders, I've learned that. So that is something I've also honed in myself. So yeah, that was there. But coming back to our topic, okay, so we saw the examples, we understand like, yeah, this is the reality, this happens. But what is happening at your brain level? It is very important to understand the fundamental aspect of what's happening. Okay, so in 1949, great neuroscientist Donald Hebb coined this term. Neurons that fire together are wired together. And I'll show you an example. Okay. Let's just say it's all of us. It's one Sunday morning. Okay. We decide we're going to come to Toastmasters. We wake up early. We get ready. We make that journey, and we come to Toastmasters. Okay. This is the first time somewhere in your brains those actions connected with each other. Right. You do it the next way. You do it the next time. You do it the next time. You do it the next time. This is getting stronger. Those connections are getting stronger. Okay. On the other hand, if you had, let's say, a Sunday, you decided not to wake up. You decided to lay on your bed, scroll your phone, and just lazy it out the whole Sunday. This will be another path, right? So doing this activity again and again and again, neurons that fire together, wire together, and I hope you are getting where am I pointing it towards. It is the formation of a habit. So those musicians, those cab drivers, those are humans of habits, right? They have made it their habit, their personality, right? So this is what it is, like what you repeat, you become. And I want to clear one more myth here. All of us have studied somewhere like a habit takes, some say 21 days to form, some say 66 days to form, but it's neither of those things. So habit is dependent on two major variables. First is the person that is trying to do that habit. So there could be an activity which, let's say, Saurabh can learn in 10 days and it might take me 30 days, right? So that is there. And the second one is the habit itself. Some habits are relatively easier to do and they can be done quickly and learned quickly, and rather than like, and some are very hard and it could take 100, 200 days for you to do it, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, the target is to wire your neurons, to restructure your brain, because I'm going to introduce new term here, limbic friction. So that feeling of not wanting to wake up early, like you decide, you set up everything, right? You say, okay, I'm going to wake up early, and when the alarm rings, you wake up, right? And a lot of times we have that, even that instantaneous thought, okay, I'm going to snooze this, I'm going to feel miserable after like I wake up 4 hours later, but still we do it and we keep on doing it again and again and again. So that friction that comes from inside, there is a scientific term called limbic friction, and I'm going to explain you in the next session how to overcome that. Okay. So, but before we do that, let's go on to our last but not the least, the speaker for the day, Toastmaster Heyman. But before I do that, I'll call on the evaluator, Toastmaster Alicia.
So good morning everyone. So I'm evaluator of Heyman today. So he is presenting his speech under the pathway level 1 project 3 introduction to vocal variety and body language. So I will be evaluating him on few parameter: body language, speech clarity and voice clarity. So all the best to you.
Toastmaster Hemant. Okay, as a way of introduction, Toastmaster Hemant is a chartered accountant by profession, researcher by obsession. Travel keeps him curious, whether it is balance sheets or back roads. He plays with numbers all week and spends Saturday with NGO feeding the unprivileged. Great job. The title of his speech is A Flight Through Fear. Toastmaster Hemant. A Flight Through Fear. Toastmaster Hemant.
Good morning, everyone. April 2021. The world was struggling to breathe. So was I in Bangalore. At the time of COVID, when everyone was doing work from home, I was going to office. I thought I was committed, but I was exposed. It started small, a cough, a sneeze, then fever. I said to myself, just a seasonal one. But as days passed, 1, 2, 3, 4, my energy started vanishing. Even standing on my feet was becoming a different job. I lost 5 kgs in 8 days. Even for me, focusing on things was becoming difficult. Fever at 101, 102, medicines stopped working. So what to do? How to cure yourself? Alone in a PG. At that time I accepted. I had become a COVID patient. But no family, no help, no nearby clinics. Hospitals? Only if you are COVID tested. But somewhere deep in my heart, I was afraid. If I'll be tested positive, I could be locked up in the entire ecosystem. Might be another body bag. And I was deeply afraid. So I made a plan. Plan to escape the Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore. And at that moment, I thought, somewhere I have to get out of this shit. But how to escape? It was not easy. It required COVID certificate. No certificate means no travel. So, I researched, like my life is dependent on it. And eventually, after 5-6 hours, I found something valuable. The airlines checking the COVID certificates on the instruction of the government where the flight is landing. And I found that there is a place whose state government has instructed not to check the COVID certificate. And the place was Ranchi. Not my hometown, but close enough to go. 150 kilometers away from that part. That was my hometown. In the next very moment, I booked my tickets. And next day morning, I woke up early, started from my PG, reached airport at 6 a.m. sharp. When I reached there, I saw a tall guy standing there with a thermometer gun in his hand. And when my turn came for the check-in, it was all pretty normal. But how it was? Yesterday I'm having fever of 101 because it was all planned. I made a mission. I took paracetamol when I woke up early in the morning. The second check happened near the baggage counter. Near the baggage counter, they again checked with the thermometer gun. And everything was pretty normal again because paracetamol. As I was settling myself down near the boarding gate, but something suddenly happened. There was an announcement. Please be ready with your COVID certificates. I was not able to understand. I booked a flight to Ranchi. How it literally happened? The flight was not only bound for Ranchi. The final destination was Calcutta. It means that rules has changed. And there were only few passengers, 2 or 3, who was to be boarded in Ranchi. And That moment, my heart started pounding. I thought I'm gone. There were multiple thoughts started running in my head. I thought they are going to send me back, but I'm very sick. I want to go home. And at that moment, panic started gripping me very hard. But that was not the moment of panic. That was the moment of forming. So what I did, as everyone was going up to board the flight, I also being a part of it. As I was settling myself down, settling my mind down, I saw everyone is holding a piece of paper, and that piece of paper was board certificate. Instantly, I took out a paper from my bag. It was not a board certificate, it was just a piece of paper. And the next moment, as my number was coming, there was a lady in front of me, in her 50s. And I thought, why not to make this lady my mother and try to show that I am along with her. So, when her turn came, I did not say her anything. When her turn came, I stepped up a little bit, not separated, but closer. When she was showing her certificate, I also tried to show mine, showing that I am with her. And the next moment, when the airline staff said that you can go without checking mine, I said, I am done. Next time I was into the aircraft and I started thanking God. What literally happened at the time of panicking, I performed, and I learned two things at that time. Sometimes confidence is more convincing than truth. And the second thing is, strength is not about being planned. We think that strength is about planning, but sometimes it is more than that. It is about you taking a next step when fear is walking inside. Thank you.
Thank you, Master Hemant, for a wonderful speech. Guys, okay, whatever I told you just now, till now, was all theory. And as we have been in our school times, in our colleges, we have forgotten all theory. So if you have forgotten everything I've told you till now, it's absolutely fine, okay? Because what I'm going to tell you next is the practical application of that theory. And that was my target from the beginning, to give you tools if you really wanted to change yourself and get a new habit, a new target, a new peak. These are the two tools I'm going to share you. Very simple, but they will literally change your brain. Okay? The first one, the concept is called task bracketing. Okay. So, I'll give an analogy here. Let's say you had to make a home. You choose a very far trodden place in a jungle. Okay. Just think, there is no road, there is no electricity, plumbing, utilities, anything. How hard would it be to build that home, correct? But on the other hand, if you had an anchor, something already there, let's say a road, right? Utilities, all the utilities, it would get easier to build that home, right? And after building that home, you will have that reward of having a peaceful stay, having something of your own, right? That is what task bracketing is in a nutshell. That instead of just out of the blue trying something new altogether, like I'm going to do this from tomorrow, you will have that motivation for a few weeks. After that, it will go away. It will not be a habit. It will not voluntarily become part of your regimen, right? Any other example could be brushing our teeth. Do we have to think about brushing our teeth? No, right? Because that circuitry is already embedded in our brain so strong that it doesn't matter where I am. If I slept only 4 hours or 14 hours, it is not dependent on anything. It will happen. So if you want habits of a guitarist to just do it every day, no matter what happens, this is the way you do it. Okay, task bracketing. You find another example would be, let's say I want to inculcate the habit of reading. So I wake up and I know every day when I wake up I have chai or coffee, right? So what I could do is with chai or coffee, I could decide like after having this, the next step I will do is I'll pick up a book, I'll read it for 10 minutes. I'll read it for 10 minutes, okay? And if you keep doing that, over time what you will notice is the habit of picking up chai will automatically connect with you with the habit of reading, and it will be automatic. You won't have to, that term I call now, that friction coming from inside of waking up, of going to gym, of reading, that will go away. And it will become so easy. Like the way we see athletes talk of performance, talk about they never missed a session, they never missed a class. Why are we like that? So this is the reason we are like that. They have these tools, these informations, and they work with that to make themselves better. So that is the first tool. The second tool is mental visualization. This has helped me a lot. And like Olympic athletes and the greats in the games do this. Okay. So what this is when I had decided to wake up early, okay, what I would do, I would just say like I'll put up an alarm and then I'll just go to sleep, right? With mental visualization, what that means is before going to bed, I will mentally visualize that okay, it's 5 in the morning, my alarm has just gone off, I'll turn off my alarm, I'll get up, and I'm visualizing as vividly as I can, like everything in picturesque motion, right? I'll turn off the light, I'll go outside to the balcony, I'll take that breeze in, I'll get freshened up, and I'll start with my day, right? What that does is that your brain knows like you're visualizing it, but in reality, it is also hitting that same like neurons. So what you're doing is you are already building a habit without even doing it. So mental visualization is that second tool that you can adopt to learn new habits, to build and rewire your brain. And finally, I would say this: you are the person who holds your destiny. You hold the upgrade. Nobody else does. You have the tools to do it, and your brain is not your destiny. It's your canvas. So make full use of it. So that's all from me. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'll pass it on to the table topic master for the day, that is Toastmaster Tanika.
So today is a Mother's Day and our table topics will be circulated around the Mother's Day. Table topics about mothers focus on honoring their sacrifices, sharing lessons learned, and reflecting on their influence. Ideal for celebrations like Mother's Day. Engaging topics include describing a mother's greatest strength, sharing a favorite childhood memory, or discussing how a mother's guidance shaped your values. So I would firstly like to call a member so that you can guests who are there for the first time can understand how much time you can speak. And timer, please note down, it's 1 to 2 minutes. Okay. So first member.
Slightly loudly.
Sorry.
1 to 10.
Volume. Little loud. 1 to 2. A memory to cherish. Describe a childhood memory with your mother that always makes you smile.
Always makes me smile.
Describe a one childhood memory with your mother that always makes you smile.
There are lots of memories. Yeah. So recently, when I was at my hometown, my cousin brother's wife is suffering through the cancer, and I decided to take them to some temple. If you heard about Pandharpur, it is Vitthal Mandir there. So I took my family, like cousin brother's wife, cousin brother's family, and my family, and I was taking them all through the temple, all the things, and I realized one thing, that creating the cherishing moments with our loving, caring one can cherish ourselves also. I was observing the smile on my cousin brother's wife. She is having a lot of hecticness, even though she was smiling, and I was trying to motivate her that you need to find a purpose to fight with the cancer. And by looking at that situation, my mother was also smiling. So that was, I think, the best moment for me. Yeah, that is.
Engage now.
Unexpected advice. What is the best piece of advice your mother ever gave, even if you didn't listen at first?
Okay, so I think it's like the topic was meant to be because like my mother, she's a housewife, and she for like 10 to 15 years she would like just be at home. We had 3 siblings, so all her time went in like managing all of us and our schedules and everything. But recently, like as we grew up and we all had our own, so she got some time to like join communities and things like that. So like during COVID and at that time when we had some time on our hands, she told me a number of times that you should join like like Toastmasters or other such platforms in order to like enhance the public speaking skills, because she sees the potential in me. So these like a few years back, about a year or so, she herself joined like a platform wherein like it was a business related platform wherein she would like help pitch my father's business and like try to do the PR of it. And seeing her like every week go to those meetings and like even though she had no background, nothing, but like seeing her and I like the advice which she gave to me 2 years back came back to me yesterday. So I reached out and
Mother's sacrifice. How has your perspective on your mother's sacrifices changed as you have gotten older?
So this is the first Mother's Day when my mother is not with me, and so there is a long list of things, everyone, and so I cannot count how much sacrifices she has made for me. She had this belief in me. She has been such a stupid guy. I never used to be that student, but this belief she had that someday this child will do something, and this belief has brought me from zero to a chartered accountant. So that was my mother. I really can't count what sacrifice my mother has done. Thank you.
Any member? Let's one by one. The greatest lesson. What is the most valuable life lesson your mother taught you?
but the greatest life lesson that I have learned from my mother is not to be afraid. So my mother is someone who never puts up with any person's nonsense, and evidence to that is that she might have had 3 to 4 bosses, and none of her bosses were spared. She gave each of her bosses a handful, and with me as well. She doesn't put up with my nonsense as well, and yeah, that's one thing. Another thing, so I'll list one more. So another quality that my mother has is that I am not very extrovert person. I am little bit a mix of introvert plus extrovert, but my mother is highly extrovert. if she will go for a walk in the evening to a park, and it's a foreign country or it's an unknown place, she will definitely make a new friend. If she is taking a train ride and there is a co-passenger, not only will that co-passenger become a friend, but she will get his contact, and if something has to be done, if some favor has to be asked, she will ask that favor and get that thing done. Another superpower that we found out was she was traveling with my dad in a foreign country, and both of them are now pretty old, and so what happened was one of the passengers took their luggage, and the bags were a little bit similar looking, and they were a little bit in an awkward situation now what they should do. So what she did was, there was a single bag that was going around that looked similar to what her bag was. She took hold of that bag and went to the and ultimately went to the okay, red flag. ठीक है, for some other day. Thank you.
Story to complete करना। अब डराया मत करो। Don't intimidate. Just बता दिए।
Role model. In what ways is your mother your hero or role model?
Good morning, everyone. My mother would call all 3 of us every day. I was in Singapore. My brother next to me in New Zealand, and the youngest one is in Canada. And whenever she calls, the first thing that comes to me is like, why would you call every day, yaar? What will I talk every day? Like, what did I eat? What did I wear? Where I'm going? Something like that. But however angry I am, however I do not want to talk to her, she would still call us every day. And now, after being a mom of 2 working daughters, I am also doing the same thing. So what I learned from my mom is, the children, they never get good for you. And even if they don't want to talk to you, you are there unconditionally for them all the time. I think this is where my mom is the role model for me. And coming to here and speaking today is my way of celebrating my Mother's Day.
Thanking mom. If your mother was here, what would you ask her for today?
morning, fellow Toastmasters. So, while Vishwajit was talking about his mother, it felt too relatable to me as well. While Prashant was telling us about the concept of hippocampus, it also felt too relatable because my mother, her brain is wired like a taxi driver. She remembers all the path. She's also very extroverted. I, being an introverted to an ambivert, I am not into that. But when my mother's come across a person, a set of people, she'll become best friends with them. She'll know how to do the exchanges, how to talk to them. But one thing that I've noticed over the period of time is that she behaves differently around different people. There are specific set of people who, when she will be interacting, might not be much interactive. Even though she's very resilient, but when it comes to interacting with certain set of people, she cannot pretend, and that is the only habit. Also, a lot of more habits are there, but one of the habits that I like about her is her being honest. She cannot pretend when she's around people. She'll put her heart out. She'll talk. She'll interact with them. But when she is not in sync with the people she's interacting, when the vibration is not at the same level, she might not share as much as she would do otherwise. So yeah, that is all. Thank you.
Similarities and differences. In what ways are you the most like your mother? In what ways are you most different?
It's very rare that you particularly give 1 or 2 minutes to think about your mother, like specifically pinpoint. And I came on the stage just for that. On our video schedule, we miss on that part. How am I alike with my mother? Oh yeah, that's yeah. She pointed out, of course, I do look like my mother, and but more than that, I feel my mom has been a silent player all the time in the background. And I think I'm somewhere like her. Like I am the silent person in the background, probably taking care of 1,000 things on the back head and not just be shut out loud on the front. How am I different from my mother? This is actually an unusual thing. I didn't spend a lot of time with my mom actually. I've been always living in my hostel since a kid, like 2nd grade. So didn't have a lot of time to spend with her.
Welcome back everyone to the third and final section of the meeting, which is the evaluation section, the heart of the meeting, where we get all the feedback and gain all the knowledge and implement it as well. So we'll first start with the evaluation of the prepared speeches. I'll first call upon our first evaluator for our very first speech, which was by Toastmaster Nikki. Sorry, Samantha, I have to rush. I think I left what is there in my pocket. I'm so sorry. That was good. That's a moment. Yes, it was that. So, Toastmaster R.K. Arora.
Thank you. So let's start evaluation of speech, icebreaker speech of Toastmaster Nikki. No fixed address gives you no limits. And through her speech, she have proved it that if you do not have fixed things, it's an opportunity for you to explore, to adapt, and give your best. The objective of any icebreaker is to connect with the club members. And she have vividly shared her life story from the 4th stood for age of to maybe she might not have completed all introduction part. I think in this 4 to 6 minutes. And she brought humor to her speech that she has her home in her suitcase, right? So it's very difficult to bring humorous kind of things in your icebreaker speech, which she brought over here. And bringing your word of the day very easily, naturally, is the ability, it shows ability that she has that ability to become a very good speaker. And her linking ability from multiple countries experience, Belgium, Africa, Dubai and then Moscow, and reading 10th class at home with 2 hours sunlight, so maybe 2 hours of night. So this kind of exposure, I can say, will help us to linking many things which many of us don't have that. There are some recommendations which I can give it to you, that first select your pathway, because you are in a leadership journey. So you must identify the area in which you want to work. So that will support you. And then secondly, utilization of stage. Like when I was in Belgium when I was 4, then I was in Africa, then I was in Dubai and then Moscow. So we could have related that this is Moscow, this is Belgium, and this is that. Right? So just distinguish that area. And there were some unnecessary movements. Unnecessary movements if we can avoid it. Overall, I like your speech. I was able to connect with you. That with your story, it was so vivid that I was with you in multiple countries. So thank you, and I can say that you have great potential to become a great speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RK sir. I would say a very beautifully crafted feedback for a beautiful speech. It followed the CRC approach, nothing further to recommend. You commented well on the structure, feedback, structure, delivery, and the content of the speech. And likewise, Toastmaster Linky, I really loved the content of the speech. Your entire journey unfolded so beautifully here. You were able to make that connection, the link with the audience, which comes so naturally to you. Just few more points that I will add is that the speech was wonderful. It's just that the message that you want to bring out of the speech, you could just stress on that a little more towards the end, so that the audience gets the message along with your journey as well. And then when you are, just a recommendation that when you're talking about your achievements and something that you've done extraordinary, rather than just giving them very casually at the beginning, like 0 to 100, just bring in some suspense so that it unfolds. And along with that, your voice was quite, you were speaking at a low tone, so you can bring the variation in your voice and raise it a little also. So that's all from me, but really a wonderful icebreaker speech, and congratulations on delivering the speech. Then let's move on to our second evaluator, which is Toastmaster Shuchi, who would be evaluating the speech for Toastmaster Khalid.
Today I had the pleasure to evaluate one of our speakers, Pradyut, who delivered his icebreaking speech. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for taking your first step in your Toastmasters journey. Delivering an icebreaker takes courage, and you did a commendable job in sharing your story with us. Your story was well structured, interesting. The flow of your speech kept the audience engaged throughout. Your spoken language was clear and easy to understand. You appeared appeared confident and comfortable on stage while speaking and used proper hand gestures. Voice was soothing. Your voice was pleasant, bass was sticky, but at certain moments I felt volume could have been slightly raised. You were having the eye contact, but I felt it was mostly towards the left side and centers. So it will be better if you will engage the entire room. And one more thing I felt, you were just standing while delivering. You were so focused that you were just standing at one place. So if you will make the use of entire stage and make the stage movement, that will add to your energy and presentation. So overall, you were confident, engaging, and showed clarity and good connection with audience. With little more eye contact, stage movement, and vocal variety, you can become an effective, strong speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shichi, for the well-rounded feedback. Again, good work with using the CRC approach, conversation, recommendation, and commentation again with summing it up. And just my feedback on the evaluation would be bring more instances and anecdotes from the speech itself so the audience is able to go back and travel back to the speech which he delivered. And Toastmaster Pradyun, congratulations on delivering your first speech, The Promise. The title was quite attractive, I would say. Again, you can bring the message a bit more strongly. That's my only feedback, along with whatever Toastmaster Shichi said. So, well done on your first speech. Let's move on to our third speech evaluation. So let's welcome Toastmaster Sachin, who would be evaluating the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Namita. My target speaker, Harish, wonderful job. When you see somebody starting a Toastmaster journey and already doing a great job, you feel so good about it. And evaluating has been a pleasure. Of course, Harish, your entire journey that you showed here in this speech, you took us to your corporate days, for your 3 female bosses who fixed you. I'm not sure, like, of course you depicted a couple of nuances at how they transformed the way you thought about timings or clarity and going back to a message before sending out to entire organization. Humor was right on spot. That's a wonderful job because most of us are working here and grabbing attention is like you click and resonate with the other person, and you did that great job. Humor, and it's not like entire speech was humorous. That's the best part of humor is if we put entire speech as humorous, that would be so monotonous. So yours were like, okay, nice speech, boom, humor, and now everybody's hooked to you, and that's how you grab the attention of the audience. You asked me to evaluate on your voice modulation. Good job. You were intentionally at times speaking slow and letting the audience sink in your message. You did a great job in that as well. Your body posture was strong enough. And since your vocal is very strong, everybody could hear like an entire room. I have a few recommendations, of course. Since your vocal is strong, you need to work on your wording, the way you pronounce as well. Because everybody is like a bomb. You say female, you go like female, boss, Toastmaster. So all the words are in the same high tone. This is a challenge for you, of course, and for all the guys that you've been working on the speaking practice. You need to speak a certain word in the way that you would do the justice to the word as well. I would give an example. For example, 3 female boss who fixed me mostly. Your vocal is very high, so you need to do the intuition of your vocal as well. 3 female bosses who fixed me mostly. there's a difference, guys. Like if you would say that in a high pitch, good, everybody can hear, but you need to bring the pitch up and down as well. Not do entire the sentences of at least a couple of words, and do the justice for that. And again, one of the this would be really good if you could improve this in your speech in the upcoming one. You need to look at the eyes of the people. You have a really good stance, you have really good personality, but you have to connect with the audience. You need to look at least 2 or 3 or a couple of guys in the audience, and that's how you connect with it. You don't have to look down. You have to be confident about that. Like the best part of the speech was that your delivery was structured. It was 3, like you talked about 3 bosses, so you were structured in multiple sections. That's how this speech gets really good, when you have structure in the speech and divided into multiple sections. So thank you so much for your speech, and it was really good. We loved it, and the energy when you show up on the stage with a firm voice, it's really amazing. It's something for all of us to learn from.
And definitely I don't have anything further to add, and I hope Toastmaster Harish, you got all the feedback and the knowledge you wanted, and it's great to see how you have come far in your Toastmaster journey, which has just started. And I really loved the content and the way you hooked the entire audience, and most importantly your strategic pauses, which are very important when you are delivering humor, that you paused and the audience laughed at that moment. So your pauses were really fantastic, and of course good voice that you have, so experiment a lot with your voice. With that, let's move on to our final speech for Toastmaster Hemant. Let's call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Alicia.
This is my first time I'm evaluating someone, so it's my pleasure. Congratulations, Hemant. So first of all, I would like to say it was very engaging topic. The hook was strong throughout the speech. Everyone was listening carefully, tapped attention, and I also like the message at that the strength is not all about planning. It's much more that. And great gesture, good posture. You were very confident. But I would like to give you suggestion. At a certain points, I felt your voice is very good. And you used only the right side stage only. Here. It could be used like this side also, so it could be better. And overall, it was engaging topic, well structured, and everything.
Icebreaker evaluation. Good approach that you have used. You can just feedback that for your further evaluations. I hope you take that and take that pretty soon. Again, just bring the audience back with the more usage of examples and anecdotes from the speech itself, so that you are able to point out where specifically the speaker needs to improve, and accordingly provide your feedback, and go as detailed as you can on all the parameters which are about content, delivery, stage usage, eye contact, and overall body language as well. So you can keenly observe on all these parameters. Toastmaster Hemant, I really loved Toastmaster Hemant, I really loved the suspense you created with your speech about the way you felt sick, and how alone you were at that time, and how your brain worked, that how you can fool the authorities even when you are sick. And it was so well planned. chronologically you took us, and I could vividly imagine each scene how you would be, enacting that in that moment and fooling the authorities. It's not an easy job. Someone would have really broken down, and more than the speech, commendable job that you did there to save yourself in that moment when the world was in such a situation. And one phrase that I have heard, that truth is stranger than fiction. You gave another phrase to us, confidence is more convincing than truth. So I've written it down and I'm going to carry it further with me. It has stayed with me and I'm definitely going to use it as well. So congratulations on this very well delivered speech. And then let's go on our other evaluators for the meeting. Let's call upon our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Priya.
Alright, so when you are energetic, confident, your hand gestures are nice and you're taking pause nicely, it's very difficult to focus on the grammar side, but I did, so hats off to me. Today's word was resilient. Almost every speaker has used this nicely, so which is good. And but the phrase, I could not find anyone use the same phrase. Just because I wrote it little late, maybe because of that you could not use that in your speeches. Okay, and all right. Apart from this, I noticed few strong phrases by the speakers. First one is angelic tone, then traumatize into perfection, habit decide how far you will go. Well, next is few of the tech words I found out, which Prashant showed us. So that is task bracketing and mental visualization. Thank you, Prashant, for that, for showing us that side of the brain. Okay. Alright. It was wonderful. Keep coming with such ideas more. Few of the good words I found during the speeches, that is tenacious, hardship, shattered, nutshell. So these are good words. Repeated words, I didn't find any repeated words, which shows that speakers are very much conscious about what they are speaking. And incorrect grammar, it was very few. I just found one, that is I had become COVID patient. It could be like I tested positive or something kind of that. Well, overall language quality was excellent. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. One recommendation, just call out the specific number when the number of times the word of the day has been used already. But overall, good evaluation. You covered all the aspects of grammarian. And with that, also to mention that it's very difficult to stand here and see who is sitting where and remember that as well. So if she is pointing Prashant here, that's completely valid, and Prashant can be sitting here. Alright, with that, let's move on to our counter, Toastmaster Monica. Like, I listed like where Monica is sitting.
Hi everyone, again. So today it was really good. Like I really like the neurons that wires together. So definitely I'm gonna go back home and read about these topics a lot and maybe talk to ChatGPT more. So coming back to our counter, so there was some filler words that being used and filler sounds too. So I will be just taking some names. Don't mind, but so our team Prashant, he used and like twice.
Speaker Harish, there was no filler word, but usage of I was twice. Hemant, I didn't find much, no filler words. It was flawless. Pradyum, I think you used but and twice and thrice, and 3 times. Linky, I think you did not use much, but was once and twice. Our table topics, just for guests, like you've been using little much of like, twice and thrice. That's it.
Why did you skip my name?
You use 30 times actually.
She has a fear that you will evaluate her more.
Sachin already did that. He is calling out how many times he used it. Alright. Now let me take a poll. Do you want the timer first or active listener first?
Active listener.
Timer first.
Active listener is a fun game.
Yeah. So let's have the timer first. Toastmaster Aishwarya. Let's see. But then you have to time the active listener as well after that.
They say great speaking is not just about words, but also about timing. And today, our speakers balanced both wonderfully. Thank you everyone for respecting the time. So I'll talk about the timing in groups. If we talk about the speakers, almost everybody was on time. Linky was 59 seconds above the 6-minute bracket, but we loved your speech, so that's fine. Do I go individually into every speaker's timing? So Pratyun, your timing was 4 minutes 50 seconds. Linky 6 minutes 59 seconds. Harish 6 minutes. Perfect. Hemant 6 minutes 40 seconds. So below your 7-minute mark. Then we come to tabletop topics. Table topics. Yes. So here also almost everybody was on time. Vishwajit had a very interesting story which he cut roughly. He went up at 20 minutes. 20 seconds, sorry. But if I talk about individual timings, Ganesh did it in 1 minute 5 seconds. Purvi, you were 1 minute 27 seconds. Kishore was 1 minute 9 seconds. Vishwajit 2 minutes 20 seconds.
Within limit.
And Satyam 1 minute 32 seconds. And Sachin 1 minute 44 seconds. And now if we come to the evaluators. Evaluators were 50-50. Some were on time, some were not on time. So Suchi, I don't know if below time is a thing. Is the thing below time? Yeah. So Suchi, for evaluators, the time limit was 2 to 3 minutes. You did 1 minute 40 seconds. RK Arora Such, you were on time, so 2 minutes 58 seconds. Sachin, it was a speech or an evaluation, I wasn't sure. So it was 3 minutes 53 seconds. Did not And Alicia, you were below the 1 minute mark, so it was 58 seconds. Sorry. If we talk about teamwork, Prashant, I wasn't sure that I had to measure you. It was my first icebreaker, so I missed somewhere. But you were slightly over time. So in between speakers, you had to say for 3 minutes, but it was 4 plus between the speakers. Although the starting and end had to be 5 minutes, which was there. And I think general evaluation 5 minutes is done.
Thank you, and let's get to the interesting part now. Toastmaster Akash, we are waiting.
balanced session where Prashant's topic nettled our brain and the table topics made us emotional as well. Today's session was very good. So I think we can make two groups. I think from here we can divide the line. Okay. Satya, you can.
We have more people.
Satya, you can just go.
Center of gravity is that side.
Yes. It's just balanced.
It is okay. So I think let's start.
A and E.
First question is on.
Okay. So.
To which team you are asking?
So Linky went to college in India.
Jabalpur Medical College. Answer before the question.
Alright, she also went to JNU.
Change the question. Smart.
No, second college.
College was in which state?
So Harish talked about
Exactly.
the female bosses, and she referred to the second boss as flamethrower. I'm sorry. So second one was flamethrower. What it was?
Sniper.
सब रिकॉर्ड कर लिया सब रिकॉर्ड कर लिया
So Ganesh went to the. You will not speak. Ganesh went to the temple. What's the name of the temple? Vittal temple. Yeah. Right. Minus one.
Nice.
Talk about mothers. Like Satyam mother has a. Satyam mother has a best habit. So what talks about that habit? Top habit that her mother has.
Not having that like pretending. So she'll be like upfront and honest with you.
Honesty.
Yeah.
What about Sachin? Sachin also told about some good habits of his mother.
Pookie mom.
cutie
Nice, simple.
Right, wrong.
You like 10 points.
Okay. So from Harish's speech, he learned three things from three bosses. What are these three things?
on time
First was on time. Second was being perfection.
maybe
Third was being how to have your opinions, just not be
be
opinion.
present maybe
Basically,
in the meeting
you should
adding
have
value
some adding some
Be in a
value.
place,
Be in the
make a
place.
difference.
Yes.
वही बोला मैंने.
ठीक है वही
3 पॉइंट नहीं मिलेगा इसका. 3 क्वेश्चन का ऐसे तो इतना.
Plus 3-5.
अरे यार क्या फायदा
You
हुआ.
are anyways more guys. Okay, so what is the brain wiring scientific term is called? To this team, when did Linky start his school? In which grade?
in fourth year Belgium
4 years old में स्कूल तो ना था उसमें.
Fourth grade. Fourth grade. he started.
Belgium
Point five.
पूरा ही मिलेगा
College professor Nachin को तो.
क्या प्रोफेसर?
College professor.
Last question.
सही बना.
What was the brand of in Pradyum's speech? What was the brand of his Nanu's car?
Corolla Toyota Corolla
We win.
Okay, last question. When he was talking, Prashant was talking about neuroplasticity and right. So for taxi drivers, hippocampus.
How many street numbers were there?
25,000.
I Thank you guys.
Thank you. Alright, so a well-rounded meeting, I would say. Now I just have few of the general observations. We started on time, somewhat on time. 10:32 we started. 10:30 is what we are supposed to start, but good job, we are getting there, and hopefully we end on time also with the 4 speeches today. So wonderfully done. Few observations that there is when we are leaving the stage, please stay on the stage for the handshake and handing over to the next speaker who is taking over the stage. That was not done each time, so please be mindful of that. That is how it is supposed to be done, and there is less of applause, so please keep applauding and applaud with all Alright, with that we come towards the end of the evaluation section, and grateful that what a wonderful Sunday morning on a Mother's Day we got to spend. With that, I take the role over of the presiding officer and would want to know the feedback from our esteemed guests here. So, voting भी करेंगे. So while I'm taking the feedback from the guests, please, 2 voting forms are there. So check your WhatsApp groups. There would be voting forms already. Please vote for the best speakers, evaluator, role players, and the auxiliary role players. Do you want the names to be called out? Everyone? We can call that out very quickly. It's okay. Alright, so please check in your WhatsApp groups and cast your votes. And while that is happening, let's take the feedbacks. And also for our next meeting, please give your roles if you want to be a speaker, evaluator, or any other roles. And Alisha will write that down.
Let's take the feedback first and let's see this after that.
वो Alisha को बता दें. So, what did you feel about the meeting?
It was a great meeting.
Oh my God! Now we pulled the wrong cord. So please.
It was a great meeting. As a guest, I think this is the first time I'm attending this session, and every time I attend, I learn more and more and become more curious to attend this now. I'm looking forward to attend the next session as a member. Thank you very much.
Seasoned guest now.
Senior guest.
The pattern is such that it really gives you the like how to speak, how to observe as well, and taking input from the equality on different parameters. So definitely, because definitely it helps a lot, and I'm also looking forward.
Basically, I really like the session, and one thing I would say, it's worth sacrificing the Sunday morning.
Last 5 days I was searching to the platform where I can learn different things, right? To maybe improve my confidence level, my communication style. I couldn't get anything online. Finally, I got to know about a Toastmaster yesterday evening, and I contacted someone, and then today I'm here. And it was very amazing to see people how they are delivering their speeches. Everything is structured. Everyone is being evaluated. So the evaluator is also getting evaluated, right? So I love the way it is being done. Thank you. I'll definitely learn for this book from now.
Yeah, this is my second time I'm at booking. It's me.
Yes.
It is my second time I'm here as a guest. So it was 8 speeches I could learn that again today. All the 4 speakers were excellent. I mean, well delivering the speeches, and I think I have been to more of the countries. I was feeling that I am traveling to different countries today. More thing, I think I have not been managed by any female bosses till now.
Oh my God.
अभिनव वो तो मेरे को भी हो रहा है
Complete demand, Abhinav. What do you want to say?
Say that it's really been there and it's wonderful coming back and meeting all of you.
Did you find a Toastmasters club in Bangalore?
Yeah, people have been asking
Artistic
for it,
field,
but I haven't joined them because this is the best club.
Bangalore GTMC.
Bangalore GTMC.
That's difficult to answer.
Flavor of Gurgaon and Bangalore.
Yes.
Alright. Yes.
So for me, it was really nice. I felt like there's a lot to learn from everybody because all of them brought their unique flavors into their speeches, and now one can also try to learn from that. So, and I love the structure, how exactly the evaluators are getting evaluated, everyone's getting time, and so I feel it's a really great platform, and I surely enjoy it.
Alright, with that we have the results also. Alright, so let's...
Tanika photo.
Background. So best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Priya. Good job on the examination. Thank you. Best role player, Toastmaster Prashant. Alright. Best table topic speaker.
Vishwajit.
The one who couldn't complete Toastmaster Vishwajit. And we request him to complete the story also.
Exactly. What happened?
What happened next?
It's like a suspense.
Next time.
रुक जाओ, अभी complete करो story.
So what happened was that so there was one bag which looked little similar to the bag that they had, and my parents were traveling, I think, to China or back from China, so the language was also not known. So she picked up an unknown bag and went to the airport authorities and explained in her tutti frutti English, and they understood in their tutti frutti English and tutti frutti Chinese that okay, something has happened. They took the name of the person who was some lady whose name was written on that bag and called her up, and that's how my mother got her bag back.
We couldn't have missed that. Alright, best evaluator. Speech.
Explain your speech not cancel.
हाँ सब इवैल्यूएशन में स्पीच दे दिया
Update on your portal.
Alright. Best speaker.
Female bosses.
Absolutely.
3 bosses.
There's females anywhere and you get the prize.
He was having 3.
Alright. Alright, with that we come to the end of the meeting. Do we have all the role